Namaste, hello, hi, welcome or welcome back to this channel where I share almost all of my hikes, some of my travels and a little bit of life here and there. And today I'm here with another video journal of our day at Point Reyes National Seashore. So without wasting any more time, let's go. After getting our first shot of vaccine for COVID, we were finally able to make a plan to spend the Memorial Day weekend with friends. So me, Vaibhav and Patrick went to SF to stay at Gaurav's place. After a super chill Friday night, we thought of leaving for Point Reyes on Saturday morning. Well, it kind of became late morning. The weather was confusing just like most of other times, so all prepared to face the worst scenario, we all left the house sticking to our warm jackets. It took us a while to cross all that city traffic and reach the other side of the Golden Gate Bridge. Before moving ahead, it was already time for us to have a quick lunch, especially for me. If you know me, you know that better. We stopped at this store which had a deli inside. A few minutes in the store and we noticed that this place was a bit unique. There was this pretty colorful layout and almost all products displayed there supported sustainable living, and hence they were a little pricey. We took a quick stroll around the place before buying sandwiches for ourselves. Getting tempeh sandwich from there was a big mistake though, and a learning for the future. So later I tried to compensate that bad taste with this chocolate cream coffee. Life was back to track after that. The drive itself from the store to Point Reyes was pretty exhausting. The route gets windy for a decent part and it can easily bother people who are not used to the windy roads and those swift turns. The scenery though is completely worth taking that pain, especially the change that you get to see from seaside view to forest view and ultimately those green farms. A couple of stops and one driver change later, we arrived at the Chimney Rock trailhead. The Chimney Rock area is a popular destination for visitors wishing to view elephant seals, birds, and wildflowers. The 1.75 mile or 2.8 kilometers round trip Chimney Rock Trail leads along the ridge crest of a narrow peninsula, offering spectacular views of Drake's Bay and the coastline. This area is known to receive real strong winds and we all witnessed it that day. As I was trying to walk further into the trail, I was constantly struggling to keep my head and ears covered. The wind kept pushing back the hood of my jacket. But even though the wind was making it hard for us to walk comfortably, it was so much fun to watch the trees, the grass, and all the flowers swinging to its rhythm. The more I walked into the trail, the harder it got to notice anything else apart from the beauty of nature at its purest form. And then, for the rest of the hike, I got busy looking at all the wildflowers on the trail in backdrop of the Drake's Bay. The scenery sometimes looked as if taken straight from a movie, so dreamy and perfect with the coastal vibes. On our way, we also enjoyed looking at elephant seals. I mean, they just seemed to be unbothered by the weather unlike us, and they were just lying on a very, very cold beach. There were a couple of warning signs for the unstable cliffs, so we made sure to stick to the designated trails only and enjoyed the views carefully. This was the short hike anyway, so we took our time to soak in the views, and when we reached the Chimney Rock viewpoint, we decided to stay there for a while. The view was great, and we again realized that how big of a difference sunshine makes in the views. The same rock shines so well on a sunny day, and the color of the water is something else. Anyway, we still felt grateful that after so long we got to be outside and got to enjoy with friends. After spending the time on the bench at the overlook, we made our way back. And I don't know if it's just me or does everyone find the experience of walking on an out and back trail backwards to be totally different than the experience onwards. So, we look at the same things but from a totally different angle. Directions get reversed, and before you realize, it's prettier than ever. Kind of works like magic. I continued to indulge in the beauty of swinging grass and wildflowers. We slowed down a bit to take a break at this overlook, and I don't know why these guys always have something to discuss even when we are at a beautiful place like this. Once everybody was off that discussion, we took our time to click a group picture. Perks of using a tripod, yay! And then we all resumed our hike back to the parking. I guess having a single group picture wasn't enough for me. Of course it wasn't. So Baba clicked those millions of similar looking pictures.
It's always worth it coming to this place. Surrounded by the ocean all around, beautiful flowers, wonderful scenery, and a very, 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 very windy weather.
I had to put back my hood again, and we continued to soak in the views one more time.
At some places there is, on the rocks, you can see red colored algae here instead of green, or algae or moss or whatever it's called. So I think when we go to the lighthouse, around that place we can see on the rocks.
And before we realized, it was already the end of this hike. After that, we went to the Lighthouse Visitor Center parking and started another short stroll to get to the lighthouse. This site being one of the main tourist attractions in this area, there's a lot of crowd, but it is far more accessible and both the trails and roads were wider, and you can easily stop at any of the viewpoints without bothering fellow hikers. So we did the same. The first amazing stop was this South Beach overlook, and I couldn't walk past that for a couple of minutes. It was so pretty. I stayed there and noticed the waves crashing the beach. Who knew beaches could look this good without the sun? On our way, there were several other beautiful things to notice. The trees being the first. Strong winds create this shape on them. So beautiful. It is strange how nature can be both simple and complex in its own amazing ways. I'm not sure, but this could be the leaning tree. It is also one of the picture-worthy spots in this area. A few minutes later on these rocks, we finally saw the red algae that Webber was talking about earlier. It felt great to see another wonderful present from the nature. So far I had only seen green-colored algae, so this was an exciting find. Further marching towards the lighthouse overlook, we found interesting information displayed on the boards and this beautiful picture of grey whale. Look at the pretty patterns on those rocks. We spent some time at this overlook. The trail is only accessible till 4 or 4:30, I guess, so we only could look at the lighthouse from this point. We were happy with just that because the winds made it difficult to stand comfortably at that point. So it was hard to imagine hiking on those stairs out and back. Although standing there with those winds was no joke, but the views were great and we knew that it's not easy to come back to a place like this frequently. So before leaving the place, we took some more time to soak in the views, took lots of pictures, including millions of those similar looking pictures that I was talking about earlier. While returning from the viewpoint, we made sure to stop at this grey whale skull displayed on the way. Because of being outside and not protected, it is slightly in weathered condition. Still, it was my first time looking at a whale skull, so I definitely was thrilled. And then it was almost time for us to leave and put an end to this beautiful day at Point Reyes. We had a really long drive to get back home, so we traced our way back to the car, making sure that we look around for the coastal views that are hard to find anywhere else in the Bay Area. The time was around 6:40 when we left the park. Though the drive was long, but we had some meaningless yet interesting chit-chat to do. Meanwhile, we also planned for a dinner at an Ethiopian place. So that's it. That was our day at Point Reyes National Seashore. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Take care and I'll see you in my next.